Good evening to all those present here, to all the viewers. मुस्कुराहट तबस्सुम हंसी कह कहे मुस्कुराहट तबस्सुम हंसी कह कहे सब के सब खो गए बस हम बड़े हो गए. Chili Davis rightly stated that growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional. And what's better than getting an opportunity of growing up with your own children? So again, a very good evening and a very warm welcome to all the viewers who have joined us today for this session of Growing Up Once Again, presented to you by Women with Wings. Women with Wings is an earnest initiative to empower women with the help of other empowered women who, by sharing their mantra, are going to inspire women across the world to follow their dreams. It is a safe, nurturing platform which helps women come together and collaborate so that every woman gets an opportunity to pursue her dreams. Women with Wings believes that every woman counts, and therefore, every woman should love herself. Every woman should pursue her dreams. Today, uh, growing up once again is an honest endeavor to unravel the many layers of the beautiful mother child relationship and understand what makes this bond so special and so precious. They say a child is the mother, a child gives birth to a mother, and truly so, because, like we all know, parenting does not come with a manual. So each of us have to experience it hands on, make our own mistakes, and learn. However, a platform like Growing Up Once Again gives us an opportunity to interact with strong, powerful women who are mothers and whose inspiring stories can definitely help as a learning and help us enhance our relationship with our children and be better parents. Today, I, Paromita Chattopadhyay, Senior Manager L&D with the Ampersand Group, an educator at heart, a trainer by profession, and a writer by passion, will take you on this soulful journey of a fabulous mother-daughter duo of Sudiksha and Sonali Mukherjee. So this is my opportunity to welcome the guests. I extend a very warm welcome on behalf of Women with Wings to the beautiful Sonali Mukherjee. Auntie, I would be very happy if you join us on the stage.
Hello, Parmita. Hello, everyone. It's a
So
great
that's the
opportunity.
beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
So we
great
have the
opportunity.
beautiful.
What a chance. Yes.
So I'll take the honor of introducing you, Auntie.
Yeah.
Sonali Mukherjee has done her BSc with honors from Magadh University. She's extremely passionate about studying, about reading books, and about dance. As a young girl, she has done many stage performances on Robindra Shungi, and she loves traveling and, of course, treating people to great home cooked food. She completed her B.Ed after she got married, which goes to show her passion. And she has been a passionate educator with St. Joseph's Convent School at Patna for 22 years. Now, post her retirement, she is pursuing fitness as a complete lifestyle, and that too diligently. It's a pleasure to have you on this platform with us, Sonali Mukherjee. Welcome on board, Auntie.
Thank you.
To join her, we would now like to invite her beautiful and talented daughter, Sudiksha Mukherjee.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Paramita. Thank you so much.
Evening, Sudiksha. So, Sudiksha has completed her schooling from Patna and graduated with BCom. She further went on to pursue her MBA in finance from IMT Ghaziabad and worked with the corporate for 12 years. Music, she says, runs in her family, and she has also learned classical music for a couple of years. However, it was her keen interest in sports which resulted in her taking it up full time, and she intends to become a fitness and lifestyle coach in some time to come. She has a strong affinity for animals and she loves dogs especially. And she also has a pet called Whiskey. That's an interesting name, Sudiksha. And she's passionate about helping underprivileged children, and she's associated with My Abhilasha, a Kolkata based NGO, for the last 2 years. It's an absolute honor, you and Auntie, with us on this platform today to share your inspiring journey so that many of us get to learn from it and make it as a part of our learning and take it ahead to become better parents. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you
So,
so
as
much.
everyone
Thank you.
must be looking forward to beginning this conversation, so let me start it all started. Auntie, I'd like to know, what are the earliest childhood memories that you think shaped your personality?
See, bringing up a child makes you more mature. So your perspective towards things changes. Yes.
Right.
So in many ways, the likes, dislikes. So I became more tolerant, more understanding, and patience is the key factor for bringing up a child. So in that way, I feel, in that way, it shaped my personality. I changed from a young girl to a responsible mother.
Lovely.
Yes.
So, Diksha, what are your earliest childhood memories which you think have gone up in shaping the person that you are today?
As very rightly in my introduction, you said into music, music runs in the family. So it was not only about music, it was basically creativity. So, say small things like creative handicraft projects at school, where you're probably making simply a prop for a PT display or something, or some small dance competition or singing competition. So basically, there was a lot of creativity, and today maybe I don't uh, pursue something very seriously as a hobby, but I love somebody who's very talented, and I love beautiful art. I love creative stuff. Like, I simply love the decor that's there behind you. So I really enjoy good music, good song, and such art and music really defines me as a person.
So, I think that is what has added to your personality. And does that come from Auntie, or does that come from someone else in the family? That creative bent.
Both actually. My father was a brilliant singer, and my mother used to dance really well. And she stopped long time back, probably because of taking care of myself and other responsibilities. But both sides of the family extremely talented with music, dance, and artwork as well, creative artwork.
Super, that's great to know. So, Auntie, one question for you now. Any habit that you imbibed from your mother and handed it down as a legacy to Sudiksha?
Yes, my mother was very, she had a very good foresight. Yes. And she was very systematic for day-to-day life. And she brought us up with all the Bengali culture, all festivities celebrating with, so we celebrating with our cousins. So we are deep rooted actually. Yes. So what happens now when I see Sudiksha, I find that she carries, after her marriage, she carries the same characteristics, which habits which I have imbibed and she has imbibed from me. Very
Oh, that's
disciplined,
one.
very, yeah, yes,
So, you got that discipline and that organizational skills from your mother, and Sudiksha has kind of very seamlessly inherited it from you.
yes. Uh, because I see that she shows interest in all the festivals, anything that is not only the modern outlook, everything. So she has imbibed that, and I love that. She carries it in a little way, maybe not in details, but in a little way she does it.
That's
Yes,
wonderful. I mean, that's what we call about having a rich legacy, which moves from one generation to the other and keeps on
yes.
empowering people. That's beautiful. So, Sudiksha, one question from you. This is what your mother had to say about you. What is one good habit that you owe to your mother?
Um, uh, Actually, in one word, one specific thing, I think it kind of summarizes what she says is time management, because I really learned that from her because she was working. Maybe whatever she inherited was in those times. Uh, Female members were not always working members as well. So, but she was a working mother, and she ensured that everything was in place at home, including like the food at the right time, my education, me getting ready for say school or wherever other interests that I had. So I always saw that she never failed attend me that I am failing to attend anything at a particular time. So I think time management is something that I learned from her, and I kind of maybe naturally manage it nowadays.
Certain things get imbibed subconsciously. You don't really have to hold someone's hand to teach them a few things. Just
Yes.
observing her must have, helped you in understanding how to manage time.
Yes, yes, quite a lot because we never had a cook at home, and I remember how she would like seamlessly manage to fix time that इतने time में खाना बन जाना चाहिए family के लिए with our preferences, with my father's preferences and everything. Even after school, if I had to go for a swimming class or anything, she ensured that I was on time everywhere. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I think punctuality is a virtue that each one should have, that shows respect for your time and respect for the other person's time. Such a wonderful, wonderful learning that you've got from your mother. Okay,
Thank
as we
you.
move ahead, Auntie, can you
Yeah.
share your journey as a mother and what has been your biggest challenge in all these years?
Yes. See, I became a mother at a very young age. So it was a little tough for me to handle a small baby and a child. Though I had many people at home, but still I did not want to share her with anyone else. And then I had to leave my studies in between. My masters I had to leave because I could not leave her at home alone. So, but later on I upgraded myself with my B.Ed and all. Still, you need to, at the same time, taking care of her studies, my job, household work, everything was a big challenge for me. Everything on your own. And in those cities, we don't have many facilities. Nowadays, people have many facilities. And keeping a child in a creche was a big no no that those days. So, those were the challenges I met. But I did it on my own, no regrets. I was happy.
Do you at any point of time feel that she made it difficult for you ever, or was she a very easygoing child and very easy to manage?
No, no, she was an easygoing child. She was easy to manage, very quiet type. So she was, and she used to stay with everyone. Very social, like now also. She's still social, will run away from me. That's a very good
Run away.
quality in her. That's a very good quality in her, which I am not very social, but she's very social. So it was not easy, not difficult to manage her.
Fantastic. Diksha, that is how your mother narrated her journey of motherhood. I want to understand the journey of your mother from your eyes. As a child, how did you envision her journey as a mother?
Well, uh, I feel she's one person who's very accommodative, very accommodating, and I have a lot of instances where I feel she compromised a lot, and in spite of that, she has no regrets. I mean, till date, I have never seen her, even secretly telling me that, I didn't like doing this, but I did this. No, she never does that. If she did it, it was her choice. She takes that onus that okay, I did it, but the compromises were quite a lot. In fact, if I have to do such things, I'll probably get infuriated. I don't have so much of patience of, you know so but then initially I would, but now I understand that it's somewhere it is about striking balance. I learned to see it in the other way, that okay, if you are compromising, there are some other people around you who are also compromising with you, which we don't couple of times see. But she had a very difficult life initially also, I feel, because from what I understand, like I have not seen my nanny, and from her words I understand she lost her mother at a very early age, and she had to take care of her one of her sisters who was not well. So those responsibilities were there. Eventually, also, I saw her coping up and managing a lot of things together. These days, I don't see, in fact, I'll include myself also, not doing that many compromises. We always see कि हम क्यों करेंगे कोई और करे. But
I think
yeah,
all of us are.
balancing is something which eventually I understood that okay, it's not completely a compromise, maybe a balance you get to see from others' perspective as well.
True. Now we have our viewers who are saying that a mother is a chalta firta management school, and I completely agree with that. They might not have an MBA degree, but when it comes to time management, organizational skills, prioritization, I think there is no one. It's unmatched when it comes to a mother. She can somehow has that magic power with superwoman without a cape.
Totally,
Yes.
totally.
Okay. So the next question is for Auntie. Auntie, children learn a lot from their mother. So, what do you think, apart from whatever Sudiksha has said, what do you think is one quality she has imbibed from you and you feel like seeing yourself all over again?
Uh, she is imbibed many qualities from me, but I have learned many things from her because I was very introvert type. Yes. So
Okay.
because I was
Mhm.
so introvert, I she made me to learn. Now I have learned to speak up for myself. I never spoke up for myself, always adjusting with people, and to be more decisive. Yes. And
Okay.
taking care of my own health is now my priority because I've gone through many mishaps which uh, I never thought will happen to me. So life takes a turn. You never know what's in your destiny. So anyway, she's a pillar of strength for me.
That's so beautiful, Sudiksha. When you get to hear your mother say this, that you are the pillar of strength for her, I'm sure you feel extremely grateful and gratifying as an experience.
Yes, but on a live show, I really feel like hiding myself somewhere right now. There is too much of an appreciation. But
Wouldn't do
you
it.
know, whatever she says, it's you know, somehow in her actions, maybe in the process, as I feel it has just come naturally to me. If she's saying that, maybe she did not realize, picked it from her, I think, and family as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because normally we expect to learn everything from our mother, but then there is a lot of things that as a mother we also learn from our children. So, Auntie has openly professed that she has learned decision making skills from you. So, I think you can quickly give a pat for yourself on your back for that.
Thank you.
Okay. Next is was there ever a time, Sudiksha? I understand that it's a beautiful bond that both of you cherish. But in our growing up years, there are times when we find that the mother is the Hitler in your life. So is there anything that you thought during your growing up years which you disliked about the way your mother treated you or anything at that point of time?
Yes, when I was a child, yes, and maybe now I can reason it out. But at that point of time, I really hated her. I wanted to run away from my house. It was that bad. And the thing was that my father was always posted for his kind of job outside the city, and he would come like once in 2 weeks or a week or something like that. So now when I look back, I understand, you know, because he's also coming and he has other responsibilities. So sometimes small things happen and it just psychs you up, and there are disagreements and the usual stuff. But couple of times what happened is my mom would get angry if I was not able to understand one problem of school or any subject, and she would just give me one on my back. So that happened couple of times, and this is one particular phase. Like when I was very small, you don't use your head, you don't feel acha, she hit me, I'll go play. But when probably before you're entering your teens, those kind of things, it's not good. So maybe when I was in the sixth or the seventh standard, that phase, I didn't like staying in my home. I just wanted to run away. Um, and trust me, it was only the food that held me back. I used to just think, what will I eat outside? but uh, but I hated her that point of time. But after that, my mom, I think we broke kind of a communication gap when in further years, and we started talking, and gradually I started understand. Now I understand more when I'm myself married. But yeah, that's how it was. It was a time. I admit I didn't like her. I think if other people face that, then just hold on. They you should not be form a judgment about your mother or your parents. They are also going through a lot.
Completely agree, Sudiksha. I think during our growing up years, if a child has never hated his mother for his or her mother for a day, that means the mother is not doing the job right. They have to kind of, they have to kind of be strict and ensure that she's imparting the right kind of values. So for that, it does become a little difficult for her and maybe for the child, but in the long run, it really pays off.
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
So true, so true. I can kind of, it's resonating so much when you're speaking. Okay. Uh, um, Auntie, when and how did you brace Sudiksha to deal with the social, emotional, issues which are very pertinent during growing up years?
Yes, that's an important question and a difficult one. So, in the formative years, she was brought with good values, maybe from house also, from school also, and she did it well. And so that, and I she carried some skills which she would carry forward to adulthood. But childhood is the right time to mold a child's behavior during the formative years. Yes, but
Okay.
as she reached her teenage, there were some few instances when there was a difference of opinion. Uh, Friends bullied, comparisons were made. She has this, I don't have this. She was a little, she wanted to rebel a lot. But slowly, that social interaction is very important. So that showing empathy, how to develop your cordial relation with your friends, then only you will grow up. You are not staying with friends, all the school friends all the time. You are growing up, you will grow up to a family, you will get married. So those years, so I tried to engage her to some extracurricular activities with hobbies. I used to call her friends at home
Yeah,
for some
yeah.
time, for a small party or maybe, and in that way that she started gelling with them, and then that thing went away. So slowly her that change happened, her relation with
Mm.
her friends, and then she realized also, and then she became confident. There were I some teachers in school also who was them. She was in a convent school, so there was some nuns who had also imbibed very good values in her, which after that she realized that what is good and what is bad. So those were hobbies. I like paintings. I sent her for swimming classes, skating classes. So in that way, or not only school and studies. Yes. So in that way, it was inviting her friends and all that. She changed was all then she grew up nicely, taking part in debates and all, reading books, taking her out for shopping. She went out with her friends too, allowing her to go out with her friends. So that way it went off. Few beginning maybe in classes 7 8, little bit difficult, but later on it was okay.
So Diksha, by what Auntie is saying, we understand that mother's job is like a tightrope walk. You have to constantly hold that rod and keep on balancing. It should
Correct,
not be too
correct.
much and not too little. Very,
Mm.
very truly said, Auntie. Really, I resonate with every word that you speak. Being a mother to two daughters, I can completely relate to what Auntie is saying. Okay, so just since Auntie was working, I mean, 22 years she has been a working mother. So, how did you cope with her absence when she was away at work, and in what ways did it shape you, or adversely or positively, in the person that you have grown up to be today?
Well, so my mother was a school teacher in the same school where I used to study. So mostly we would be going together and coming back in the same school bus in the same timing. But in spite of that, there used to be some programs where teachers need to go, or during the vacation, 1 or 2 days. Um, or else, let's say when I was sitting back at home for the board exams, board preparation. So that's a good 1 month, 2 month. So, well, when there are exams, there is nothing to worry, because you have to study, and that's there. But other times, I think my mom used to engage me with some or the other work. Like she would ask me to finish a task, which would take. I don't know how she used to decide that. She'll ask me to finish XYZ exercise in the school book, say English grammar or mathematics or something, that you have to finish this. And then she'll give me like small tidbit works, like today you need to water the plants, or when I come back, your study table should be sorted. So I think I was very engaged. I didn't have much scope. I think that was a trick which I realized when you asked this question. I was never let to be free, and let my brain think of anything like that, or even feel lonely, maybe. 1 or 2 times, what happened, this was 1 or 2 incident where some preparation was going on, for like the teachers had to prepare something, and she had a choice whether she takes me or not. And I was not able to decide, and this is again that 6 to 8 9 standard window, when I was not able to decide whether I should go or not. Until the last moment, I said I don't want to go. Then I said I want to go, and she said no. Now I'm ready. I've tied up with another school teacher. I can't be late. And then I started crying. She shut the door and she went. I cried. She doesn't know I cried. Then I realized that no, it doesn't work like that. Sometimes, and I didn't feel bad when she came back. I understood that it was my mistake, my indecisiveness. Um, so, yeah, as such, it did not impact me negatively. I've always learned better. Maybe she planned it well, knowingly, unknowingly. I don't know what that trick was, but she kept me engaged with something or the other.
Great. Auntie, we've got a request from the audience asking you to share a couple of tricks as to how to keep children busy, especially when the mothers are working. Just like Sudiksha said, you always had some tasks planned for her. So please share some tips so that all working mothers can also put that in.
How nowadays the children are more, they have, they are so hooked to social media, video games and all. So it don't, my time it was not like that, but still you can engage them with some hobbies, not only stuck to TV and iPad and all. Some creative hobbies, games like that. It's better to engage with them. Painting, drawing, the small ones. I think that is more better. Reading books. I know that nowadays children don't read books. Like our times, my daughter's time, we used to read books. Nowadays that is over. But now, only that, some extracurricular activities which they can do at home. Now
I'd
COVID
like to
times they
pitch
cannot
in.
go out.
I'd like to pitch in. I'm so sorry, but she also made me write biographies about I don't know what, about a coin, about a shoe. I have written biographies about everything.
You must have fared very well in your 10th grade board examination. Because by then you would have written biographies of almost everything around you.
Yeah, English was always
English was
always good
always
enough.
good.
Yeah, English was my
Literature was
forte.
always good for her. So in that
Thanks
way,
so
we have
much,
to
Auntie.
engage our kids. Yes.
And I think what Sudiksha said, I'll take a cue from there. I think you also assigned her very specific time-bound tasks, that get this done before I'm back, clean your table, so whatever. So I think that is also a good way of
Yes, yes.
engaging
That
children.
yes, that is an important thing. They should know to. They cannot litter the room and stay like nowadays the children do. They should be responsible. A mother cannot do everything. A working mother especially. So they have to learn to keep their things in proper place. In that way.
Super. I'm sure the viewers have kind of made a note of this, and definitely next time round they are out of home. Their children are going to get some tasks to do, or maybe a biography to write. Okay. So the next question is for both of you. I'll ask Anand to answer it first, and then Sudiksha. What are your hobbies? like, because auntie is specifying so much on, investing time and growing your hobbies. What are auntie's hobbies? And then I'd like to know what are Sudiksha's hobbies.
My hobbies, we will be staying in a we are staying in a small city, so we will go out and to learn many things. So that drawing, uh, my I loved cooking. First of all, I loved cooking.
Lovely.
And then gardening, listening to music, uh, then traveling. We every holiday we made it a point to go somewhere, be it a sea beach or be it a wildlife sanctuary. So gardening is there, reading is there. These are my hobbies. Now
Superb.
many hobbies
Sudiksha,
I've
what are
left. I
you?
don't. Yeah.
Why don't you pursue them anymore, auntie? Is there shortage of
Uh,
time or
no,
available
no. Now there is no
resources?
shortage of time. Now I will start again. So no shortage of time.
Okay, Sudiksha, yours.
When I was growing up, as I said, music was in the family, so I am not sure whether I liked singing or not, but I was just put into singing. But I always wanted to learn some instruments, which never happened. So I still like to listen to good music, and I do hum songs, but I'm not much in practice. I love gardening. I which Because I'm like moving because of jobs, so we have a rented house. But wherever I go, I ensure that a garden is set because I love to have your chai, coffee, or anybody who comes in. I like to sit between the greens, simple plants, because when we are working, you can't think of too much. I can't invest in understanding what works how. So I have very simple, regular plants, but I like a corner of greens and I engage time with them. And now, of course, fitness has just gone into my head. I I just go and think about how to make nutritional food and work out. So yes, these three things are just all the time.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So we are getting requests from the viewers who want to know what is Auntie's favorite song. And if Auntie cannot hum it for us, then Sudiksha will hum that favorite song for us as a tribute to her mother. And Auntie, who is already a brilliant dancer, can definitely show us some beautiful face expressions to match the song.
This is most difficult.
Auntie, first thing you tell us, what is your favorite song?
Favorite songs, the old songs, most of them. But we picked up one song. Which one? Sudiksha?
You want me to sing a song? That song that
She picked
you
up one song for me. So in that
Okay.
song, you show your moves.
Okay, great. Go ahead. We are like waiting.
Okay, just totally out of practice. It's just going to be
Uh,
very average. So
People
just
will
bear
laugh.
with me.
No, there's not. This is what makes it so special. It's coming straight from the heart and going straight to the heart. So Sudiksha, please go ahead. We have Auntie here who will be, giving the expressions to your voice.
But it will
Sure,
look funny.
sure.
I don't.
I actually have stopped
Okay.
thinking what people think, so I just enjoy myself and I tell mom to do that. So
That's the most important thing, having keeping the child in you alive.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is one of mom's favorite song, one of them because a lot of songs, and especially from one of the olden times. So here it goes. Um, hmm. पिया तो से नैना लागे रे नैना लागे रे जाने क्या हो अब आगे रे नैना लागे रे पिया तो से रात को जब चांद चमके जल उठे तन मेरा मैं कहूँ मत करो चंदा इस गली का फिरा हाँ हाँ ओ रात को जब चांद चमके जल उठे तन मेरा मैं कहूँ मत करो चंदा इस गली का फिरा हम्म, आना मोरा सैया जब आए चमकना उस रात को जब मिलेंगे तन मन पिया तो से नैना लागे रे नैना लागे रे जाने क्या हो अब आगे रे Thank you so much.
Yeah, you were wonderful. But इस गाने को 4 चांद लगे हैं आंटी के. क्या
Expression.
कमाल expressions दिए हैं आंटी सच
After
में.
so
I
many
mean,
years,
oh my God, I'm
after
floored completely, completely floored. This is for you.
Thank you so much. And I don't want to keep this to the end of this talk. I want to thank Women with Wings right away, because I have not seen my mother perform after I've been born. So
I've
she
never.
never performed anywhere. So this is like a minor start. Maybe, mom, this is an idea. You can start it back.
She's so wonderful, and we are getting actually a lot of requests from the audience saying once more, once more. So if you want to do once more, we are like more than willing to listen to it once more.
Okay,
हो
end
जाए
of
एक
the
बार और.
session.
Okay, chalega, chalega. We'll keep it. It'll be the grand finale of the session then.
Okay.
Okay, super. Auntie, but seriously, you should reconsider what Sudiksha just said. You should give it a shot now. Now that you have time, you can pursue this. I mean, this kind of expressions you can teach to the little children who learn how to move
Yeah.
their bodies, but the expression on the face has kind of, got diluted in the process.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we'll remember
Okay.
this and we will come back to this at the end of the show. Okay. Okay. Then I want to ask that Auntie, you had mentioned during our talks earlier that after working for 22 years, there was this decision was taken that you would move from Patna to Pune so that you could stay close to Sudiksha because your uncle wanted it that way. So, how difficult was that move? And would you kind of want Sudiksha to take a decision like that ever if that a situation like that arises?
Yeah. No, that move was a difficult one because I did not want to leave up my well set job. I was well set in that school, doing very well. And since I was quite senior there now, so I was loved by everyone. The management did not want to leave. My friends did not want me to
True.
go. Even many my relatives also said, "Why will you leave up your job?" So like this, it happened. But I also thought twice. Then my husband had some plans. So we had some future plans. So okay, if I shift to another city, maybe I will try there. Not maybe, I would try there. So in that way, I shifted, thinking of staying close to her. So that way, so I don't regret it. But yes, because of this COVID times, things got delayed year
Was.
by year. So that was a tough decision, because financial independence is a great thing.
True, true,
It's a
very
big
true.
thing for nowadays. So it feels so nice that you are working somewhere, be it school or be it in a corporate office, wherever. All my relatives, my cousins, all are doing well. And I will never suggest Shudiksha to leave or compromise in that, unless until she gets a good offer or for her movement. If she gets some good offer for her regarding the movement, then it's okay. Otherwise, just leaving and sitting at home, I will never suggest.
So true, Auntie. So true. I can
Yes, yes,
completely hear that because it's a difficult decision. It was a difficult decision for you to take, but you thought
yes,
with your
yes.
heart and not with your mind. But the word of advice that you're giving to Sudiksha is that she needs to first think with her mind when it comes to her career,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
Diksha, so if I was to ask you the same question as to how do you perceive your mother's move? I mean, this decision to relocate from Patna to Pune, leaving her flourishing job. How do you perceive it? Do you think it was the right decision to take at that point of time?
Yeah, actually, I was thinking all through right now about it. Initially, no, I was totally against it because though my father had retired that point of time, and my mother had about 7 to 8 years of service left from where she was doing really well and she was loved and respected. But I was really against that. But I would also say that my father always had plans for everyone, not for himself. If he was saying something, there were plans, and I would not deny that we did not practically and like exactly figure it out what, but we thought, okay, we'll figure it out. So yes, as my mom said, maybe we should have been a little more specific and founded an opportunity. That may be a wrong decision or a wrong thing or a wrong way to go about it. It is. But if that is sorted, then maybe such a decision is okay. But without having anything in your plate, nothing specific, and suddenly you are about to lose your financial independence, I don't think it's a right thing to go about it, because financial independence does change you. It does make a lot of impact, not only for small things, but even for big things. Yeah,
True, true. Completely agree. Yeah. And I think it gives you a lot of self-confidence, more than
Of
anything else,
course.
because you've been
Yes.
financially independent all your life. Suddenly, if you have to depend on someone else for the same, it becomes very difficult for your self-esteem also. Am I
Yes.
right.
right,
And
Auntie, when I say that?
when I had been groomed all my life to think that way, that you should be independent in every aspect. So suddenly that was something that was eating me up. That what would she do? And yeah, we didn't think things will go so topsy-turvy, but yeah, okay, let's see. Now we have to, that point of time it felt fine, but today when I look back, no, not, it was not 100% rightly taken. Yeah.
Okay. Auntie, we have a question from one of our viewers who wants to know that how did you manage and how did you keep your mental strength and sanity during the initial phase of the lockdown? What helped you sail through at that time?
uh, that it was a very tough time because I was very scared. My ration was finishing, was over almost. I was planning to bring, and then this lockdown happened. Then I
Mhm.
didn't know many people, but I was never depressed. I'm not that type that I will get depressed very soon or I will lose. Huh, I
Mhm.
was nervous, so I called her up. Then she found a way out how to manage the things. Slowly, it was okay. But staying alone was depressing sometimes. Sometimes I cried also, talking to her on the phone. I cried of old days and cried with in front of her. But later on, it was okay. I tried to engage myself, books, little bit of walk going down, so that, and she would call me every moment. That, are you okay? Are you okay? You're not crying now. You're eating. So in that way, I could overcome it.
No, but
It
one
was
thing
difficult.
she's missing out. Sorry to pitch in, but maybe because that's consciously so natural for her. She reads a lot. She reads a lot. I can't sit for so long. She will probably sit for 5, 6 hours and read a book and complete it off. So I think if you're talking about mental sanity, she reads. She'll just finish a book. So I think she spent a lot of time reading books during that point of time. Yeah, other things I do agree with her. What she might have gone, I can't even feel it probably, but I know
Suddenly
she
she's
finished
alone.
a lot of books that time.
So
Okay.
that was a difficult. It was a difficult phase for me. But I
Right.
managed it. But that I don't have that I will go for a depression, mental depression, and all. I didn't have that. I would hear some
Kudos to you,
music. I'm
Auntie.
fond of
Kudos to
music.
you.
I
Hmm.
am fond of music, so I will switch on music. I will hear. I will watch a movie. So like that. Now you have to move on. You cannot brood over what happened to me, why this happened, why that happened.
Yeah.
So we have to live like that. Otherwise, it's useless.
This is such a beautiful thing you've said, Auntie,
Yeah.
about moving on because we hold
Yes, have
on
to
to
move
so
on.
much baggage. That's why I think a lot of pain is there. The moment we know that we have to let go, I think we are already feeling liberated.
Mm.
So I think letting go, I think, is a huge thing. And many of us, I don't know about Sudiksha, but even I, many a times, though I would want to consciously, but I'm not let go. So I think,
Right.
it's a huge quality, Auntie, that you are telling us to, kind of imbibe and practice letting go. I think letting go is very, very important. So,
Yes,
Auntie,
yes.
so many books that you read during the lockdown. Which is your favorite book and why?
Oh, favorite book I cannot start. I read very different. I forgot also. Oh, I
What
have
is your
I
favorite genre?
no I read thrillers, fiction, non-fiction. So, favorite as such, don't remember just now. So it's
To
like
put a finger on one would be difficult. When you've read so many,
yeah,
a
yeah,
finger on
yeah.
one, I think, is the difficult
Uh,
choice.
so John Grisham I like, Paul Coelho
John
I
Grisham.
like. So like that.
Okay.
So, and even
Okay.
thrillers I like.
Super, super. Great. Okay. So the next question is for you, Auntie. Any memory of Sudiksha that stays with you as a learning? Something that you, kind of any memory of her, that thing that you thought that, that is something that I am learning from her? Because like I just mentioned, we are all, as mothers also, we tend to learn a lot from our children. So is there any specific memory like that, which stayed with you and was a learning from Sudiksha?
Actually, when she left for Kolkata after her graduation and to build up her career and all. So after that, she did some studies there, did her MBA. And the first time when she came back home, I saw her a different person. I was really surprised to see her a different person. She could voice her own opinions. She was not held back. No one could take her for granted. And right thing. It's not that forcefully she will say something, but a right point she will say, which I never did. And so I was very surprised to see how she has developed. And in that way, she also motivated me that you should raise your voice, place your opinions, not only carried away by others, what others say. Because in those days, we thought, what will she say? What will he think? Which generally people of our time used to say, what will people say? So she said, you get off from that and you let people think whatever they want to think. So that was a learning for me to be more
Oh,
confident.
that's
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. I think finding your voice, Sudiksha, that I think is a beautiful thing, and every woman should, have a voice,
Yeah.
immaterial of which, what is your profession or anything, but you need to have a voice. Even if you're a homemaker, it is important to voice your, your what you think is the right thing to do. Auntie, one more question which has come from the viewers is, what has been your biggest learning from all the books that you've read?
From the books I read. So
Yes.
that
So since actually everybody is amazed at the number of books you've read, so they want to understand what is it that kind of stayed with you, or what has been your learning from all the books.
uh, that what should I say? Mm,
So maybe
to be more to be
no,
more
no, go ahead.
decisive, to be more
Okay.
decisive, to be
Okay.
more specific, like that, and life
Okay.
goes on like that.
True. True. Okay. So Diksha, the same question for you now. Any memory of your mother which has stayed with you as a learning?
Um, um, well, I learned to be very genuine with myself. My mom always, I won't say my mom has ever said that ऐसा करो, ऐसे करने से ऐसा होता है. She, whatever instances that has happened, from there I can pick up and say acceptance to self, whether where you stand, and if there is improvement, you need to genuinely work on it. So stay grounded, and if there are good things, enjoy it. But then, okay, relax. Now there is more to do. Ho gaya. And if there's something bad, as she just said, don't brood over things. So yeah, but for me, that has been difficult because I am a different person than her. She can like really just do it very easily. I take time, but I wanted to adapt myself like that. So few years back what I was, and now actually it has changed because of I kept reminding myself of what's acceptance to reality, to real things would really be one thing that I would say.
Okay, that's beautiful. Actually, what you said is very right. Sometimes when things don't come to us naturally, mindfully working on it, consciously working on it will definitely show progress. And I think in your case, it's been the same. You've consciously
Yeah.
worked on your building that resilience in you and that acceptance in you, and you've seen a transformation in yourself.
Yeah, and I still feel, and this thing that she said in one of the earlier questions that she brought in my friends, I think I can relate that to this question because I would honestly say that if any of my school friend is watching this show till 10th standard, I did not have too many friends. I did not have. I'm just being very honest about it. I didn't have because I had an inferiority complex. I used to feel jealous that that person is better, but the way she whatever she did, baby, she started calling my friends and uh, thankfully I have very good friends with me, like handful of good friends. uh, taking inspiration from their good things, and then trying to imbibe as much as you can, and you become better, you work on yourself. So that has become a very natural thing now. So somewhere, acceptance of reality, acceptance of who you are, staying grounded, whatever is good, good won't last forever. So these things, with things I have understood that she has said.
Uh,
Yeah.
Actually, like Auntie said, whether it's the good or the bad, nothing lasts forever. So whatever is there, if
True.
it's good, enjoy it. If it is bad, learn to overcome it and move on. I think it's a
Like
very, very important learning.
I could not accept when my father was ailing, and I could not accept the fact that okay, it's time for him to go, and she was very clear about it. Okay, let's accept it, he has to go. It kind of broke me, but that was something that I had a paradigm shift the next day. So that was something, it made me like, okay, these people are so much in love, and she can say that, that means I need to understand these things.
Beautiful, Auntie. You're a pillar of strength. And I think this, you call Sudiksha your pillar of strength, but she's drawing all her strength from you, is what I understand in the conversation.
Totally.
Auntie, and in which ways has this entire journey of motherhood shaped the person that you are today?
Yes, now motherhood is a blessing from God. It's a big blessing, isn't it? And it's an important chapter in one's life. I discovered my strength, my weaknesses, all the fears which I could overcome, which never existed, but those fears I could overcome. So it helped me to grow up with selfless love. So that way, motherhood is really a blessing from God.
Oh, I can agree. I completely agree with that. This is, I think, the only bond on earth where there is selfless love, unconditional. There is nothing to
Unconditional
expect in
love.
return. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
nothing that the
exactly.
mother expects from the child, but it's constantly giving, constantly giving. I think it's such a beautiful bond. And so, Diksha, in what ways do you think your mother has been your role model?
Well, a lot of things. I mean, I think the entire questions that we talked about and whatever we discussed, whatever she has done, she's undoubtedly a role model for a lot of things. Because, when we got into this talk, and then today I realized, I mean, we have never got a chance to reflect at our own relationship. So, I'm really thankful that I'm able to recognize that, and she's a role model in different ways. One very big thing is, my mother does not say very big lectures, or she'll not give a lot of gyan, she'll just do things. So I like that, I understand that you practice things, and then you say that, yeah, I do this or I don't do this. So keeping things simple, light, sorted. So yeah, that way she's my role model for a lot of things.
Of things. Yeah, I think the mother is the first teacher or the first huge impact that a child has in his or her life, and therefore a lot of it is getting imbibed subconsciously into the child. So I
Mm-hmm.
think for everyone, a mother does become a role model. The same is the case with me also. So one important question for both of you would be that what is your helps you nurture this beautiful bond that you both have, built over these years. So this will be a takeaway for all our viewers today, that they say you have to nurture any
Keep talking,
relationship
don't.
because every relationship has its ups and downs. So what is your mantra? How have you nurtured this beautiful relationship?
So
Yeah, so
my mantra will be a guide and a mentor during the formative years of your child. Yes, but as she grows
Okay.
up, as your child grows up, be her best friend, so that
Mm.
she's close to you. She can, because they try to hide during their teenage years. So if you become a best friend, so she can freely share her emotions, her feelings, and never do any comparison with other kids. That really hurts. Never compare your child, whatever she is, never compare with. That's a lesson, because I remember many times it happened with others also. So, but later on, I thought it's useless to compare things. Every child is different and every child is talented. Yes. So, and so this is my mantra, to have a cordial relation, Don't draw a line in between. You draw a line between, but it should be free. And let her bloom her way. Always remember that the daughters are a special gift from God.
So, Diksha, your take.
I don't know what to add on to that. It's like almost done, but yeah, maybe because the way she has kept things, I was about to say communicate, talk, because after a point of time, I just realized that if I talk it out to her, if I tell it out to her everything, and I don't keep anything in myself, that has really helped me. Because we have had a discussion. If she's I two things will happen: either she'll agree with me or disagree with me. If she disagrees with me, I have a little more conversation, and then if it makes sense as a child, if I still want to agree, I'll do otherwise. But at least, I get to know what she has towards me. So communicate, and maybe she created that ground that I was comfortable enough to always communicate my things out to her.
Beautiful. I mean, this 1 hour that I've spent with both of you has been a great personal learning for me, and I'm sure it's been the same for everyone who's watching it. Because this simple thing that Auntie said about don't compare, I completely agree that each one of us is unique and each one of us has some
Yes.
talents. It is up to the mother and the environment to help us nurture and, kind of
Yes.
shape that talent, because like the five fingers are not alike, so nothing in the world is alike, so there's no point mapping anyone to anyone else. Now there are at least 1 million messages which are coming from all the viewers saying that gaane ke bina session khatam nahi ho sakta. So I think we will so we will have to do it one more time before we wrap up the session for today. So Sudiksha and Auntie, please, it's a request from all of us, once more ho jaye.
Okay.
Okay, so in the interest of time, I'll do the same song rather than thinking of something new.
Chalega, we are more than
Yeah.
happy.
Okay. And maybe I can just change the sequencing of it. Let's start from Raat Ko Jab Chand Chamke. Okay, mom?
Okay.
Extempore,
Oh,
yeah.
so रात को जब चांद चमके जल उठे तन मेरा मैं कहूँ मत कर ओ चंदा इस गली का फेरा आ, आ, हो रात को जब चांद चमके जल उठे तन मेरा मैं कहूँ मत कर ओ चंदा इस गली का फेरा आना मोरा सैया जब आए चमकना उस रात को जब मिलेंगे तन मन पिया तो से नैना लागे रे ये पिया हाँ हाँ पिया हो पिया तो से नैना लागे रे जाने क्या हो अब आगे रे
Okay.
थैंक यू
Thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you.
We are really blessed and honored to have the two of you on this platform. And this was the icing, cherry, everything on the cake. This was just so beautiful. That's why the request for once again kept coming.
Thank you
So,
so much. Thanks to you for the brilliant idea for putting this icing on cake. We were just
it's
doing and
lovely.
answering whatever you wanted us. So it's lovely on your part to be doing this so well. And thank you for the lovely comments from everyone.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
everybody
Thank you,
has
Paramita.
enjoyed the show so much. Auntie, your presence and Sudiksha's presence have really added the chance to it. It was beautiful. But yes, just to wrap up, I think what was so beautiful is that the things that we are learning and we are taking away from this session. Keep the communication open, nurture the relationship openly without any comparisons, and learn to let go when the time is right. I think these are such precious learnings that I am taking away personally, and I'm sure all the viewers are also taking this away along with me. So thank you so very much for being here and gracing this platform. I think growing up once again with the two of you was a beautiful experience. Much thanks to all of you. Thank you so much. And before we wrap up, I'll say just two lines. वो बचपन की अमीरी ना जाने कहाँ खो गई, वो बचपन की अमीरी न जाने कहाँ खो गई, जब पानी में हमारे भी जहाज चला करते थे. So we used to have our boats, which we would, we would put into the puddles of water, and then
Yeah.
we would think that we own the boat. So if we
Yeah.
can keep that child in his alive forever, if we can keep the child alive in his forever, I'm sure that, growing up with your children will become a beautiful experience for every mother. And thank you so much for all the insights today. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you very much. And signing off from my end. And thank you so much, all the viewers, for your presence today. And it's been an absolute pleasure hosting the two beautiful women on this platform of growing up once again. Thank you so much. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.